Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all you my favorite neonish souls. I'm recording this episode of podcast second time because, interesting news. Recording an episode in the middle of the night is not an entirely good idea because you end up sounding like this one bitter aunt from your family who is tired of life itself and has been smoking cigarettes all her life, so I just had to do this again. And I really hope that maybe this time I will sound a little bit better, maybe like this one aunt who always travels and has the best presents for children and is always smiling and, sneaks chocolates and other sweets and spending all the family meeting time underneath the table where she pets the cat of the owner. So, this is the kind of aunt I would love to be more. But now let's leave the family time topic and chocolates and cats and get to the subject of our today's podcast, all the men I loved. What will I be talking about in this series? Of course, I won't bore you with the stories of all my exes. It will be rather about the people that have ever fascinated me. Of course, I don't mean only men, I mean only women and all the other genders. And I hope that I will be able to, tell you something about the characters from pop cultural things like movies, books, novels, games, and all this stuff who have ever had made me think like, oh my god, this person is so brilliantly written that I'm already feeling like I know it, like it was real. These are not only my pop cultural crushes, these are also the people who made me think, who made me open my eyes to new perspectives, who showed me new worlds. I love new worlds, this is from where my science fiction love comes from. Probably some of you may know that I'm working on my own book, on my own gathering of science fiction novels, so that makes me look a little bit different and perceive a little bit different other science fiction pieces, because all those characters that I'll be telling about in this series of podcasts will be the characters that made me think this one a little bit, I must admit, unpleasant thought. The thought, oh my god, I wish that was I who invented this character. He is so brilliant. But I will tell you more about my own project other time. This time we will be heading off to the first man I've ever loved, Wiggin. Here I must make a little disclaimer. If you haven't ever heard about Endgame trilogy, neither book nor movie, you must know that this episode of Inkopodcast may contain a little bit of spoilers. But I will do everything I can to, do not spoil your enjoying of those marvelous arts. And I will try to speak as gentle as I can to appreciate what I plan to appreciate, and yet don't reveal all the tasty mysteries of this piece of art. The trilogy contains 3 brilliantly written books. The first one is titled Endgame, and you can know it probably from the equalization movie adaptation of it. The main character here is played by Asa Butterfield, who you can know from Sex Education by Netflix. I love both of those roles, and his very mature, I would say, play and appearances on both of them. And now I consider myself a little bit of a loser because I was in high school when Endgame was on in cinemas and I didn't see it. I didn't go. I regret it greatly because that would be amazing to see this marvelous movie on a big screen. But I don't remember why didn't I go. I really don't remember. Probably I was just too hipster to see something, that mainstream. I'm just kidding. But when all is gone, repentance comes too late. Okay, let's end being dramatic. It's no good crying over spilled milk, it's just gone, then it's gone. And I've seen Endgame on my own little bit smaller screen and I enjoy it as well. But unfortunately, the second and the third part of the novel of trilogy didn't get adapted to movie, and this is something I regret even more. The main character of all of them is of course still Ender, but he is living much longer than a regular human because he's traveling between the planets, and that's how he cheats time. Maybe we will be able to do this in the future. Maybe we will be able to live forever, as Freddie Mercury sang. Who knows? The second part of the trilogy is named Speaker of the Dead, and this is, how to say it, to do not spoil you the happiness of reading the first part. Well, I will start with what is written in the blurb. Ender gains new personality, Ender gains new perspective of a life. He becomes the Speaker of the Dead, the speaker of one of the alien races. We will come to this later because this is one of the main reasons why he is one of the men that I loved. And the third part of the Ender Game trilogy is called Xenocide, and I am just about to read it because I'm in the 2/3 of this trilogy. I'm so excited to finally meet the end of this history. Ender Game tells a story about young boy, called of course Ender, who is recruited to train in a battle school located on the orbit of Earth. They are training little children and teenagers to be soldiers, future soldiers of Earth, Earthians, I would say, Earth representative in the space. The whole plot takes place on around the Earth after a first invasion of hostile aliens called buggers, or fomites as I can remember officially. And those teenagers who are training in battle school are like the most intelligent, brilliant and brave souls of all Earth that are trained to protect our planet against the hostile enemies when the second invasion comes. As the story goes, Ender gains another and another perspective and points of view which help him understand his enemy even better than he probably would like to. This is the point when I will stop telling you the story, because if you are tempted to try to read it, then you probably will do it right after listening to my podcast. So what is so special about a boy named Ender Wiggin? What is so special about this person who is just one of the soldiers from battle school? This is what is so special. The thing that makes him so special is not only his intelligence, but this empathy to every interstellar being. Have you ever considered a situation that the aliens are already present somewhere here, somewhere around, but we just don't know it because the contact between each other is just completely unavailable? They are different, of course, everybody thought about it. But what if they are just too different? I really admire the side, the point of view on the aliens and other intelligent races which Ender Wiggin has, and of course the whole narrative of the trilogy is run by. This is probably the moment where my psychology education shows, but this is no need to be ashamed of. I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I'm a psychologist, and I would say that this social or even anthropological point of view to the science fiction is something that opens my mind really, really widely. Or maybe I should say not anthropological, but interstellar? Anthropological? Interstellarological? I don't know, probably there is no such word now. But what if we will one day meet with all of them and we would love to be united? And how will we be able to just understand each other? How will we be able to talk with each other? How will we be able to communicate anyhow and just to cooperate or just to be next to each other? We don't have to do anything. We just don't want to be hostile to each other. The Ender Game trilogy is a true game changer when it comes to such thematics, because Ender, as a speaker of the dead, is obliged to talk with people and as I say people, I don't mean only humans, I mean people as every thinking person in the universe. He is one of the mediators or even go between 2 or 3 or more races of thinking persons. Ender, the speaker of the dead, is the gate to understand aliens in their strangeness, in their alterity, their dissimilarity to us. There are few races of aliens portrayed in Ender game trilogy, and each one of them is completely different. Each one of them is using completely dissimilar rules of their living, of their society, and of their psychology, but each single one deserves respect and deserves to be understood. And Ender is one key that chains and binds all of them. If that isn't the goal of life, then I don't know what is. To be so full of your own mindfulness, so mature, so full of respect, so thoughtful, and so responsible and so open to everything new that the humanity chooses you to be the mediator between your civilization and other civilizations. Like, this is an ultimate honor, just distinction. Some time ago, somewhere on my Facebook wall, I've seen the video of diver who is healing the sharks. She puts her hand into the shark's mouth and she takes away parts of fishing nets and hooks. Well, of course, sharks try to bite her because, well, they're sharks, this is what they do. They are minding their own shark business. But after they see what she is up to, after they see how she takes away their pain, it ends every hostility. She even talks about it that when sharks get to know her better, when they see how she helps them, they even communicate between each other and they call another sharks who are harmed to come to her and to let her help them. What moved my heart the most was the moment when one of the sharks approached her and just leaned on her lap and let her pet him. It is a wild animal that let you pet him. This is amazing, and this is absolutely something that I imagine as I read Endergame. This moment when the love and compassion is such a strong value that it goes beneath the two completely different, alter and dissimilar races. The motto of Ender Wiggin was, when you understand someone, understand even your enemy, you can't not love him, because when you understand someone so deeply, you just automatically love them. And basically this is why I love Ender Wiggin, because on his way of teaching me how to understand others, I just understood him.